What's up, everybody? It's your boy Alex Dorfner. I hope you're all having a beautiful, fantastic day. And how are you doing? Let me know down in the comments. And so today we are talking about how sleep can affect your mental health and your overall well-being. So stick around for the rest of the video to find out more.
I don't claim to be the creator, but I'm a savior. I take the strange variables of human life and make something out of the crazy quilt.
I have a very important question to ask y'all. How many hours of sleep do you get at night? Because the recommended amount of sleep is actually 7 to 9 hours, but for each person it varies. For me, I personally get about 8.5 hours, 8.5 hours of sleep, and but actually it's proven that people who get 7 hours or less and who gets 9 hours and more of sleep actually have a higher percentage of dying, which is actually crazy. But what does sleep actually do for us? Like, why do we need sleep? We waste a lot of our life sleeping, but the reason why it's so important is because it plays a key role on your mind and your overall well-being. So, if you don't have enough sleep, you actually have lower concentration, you're very irritable, and you don't really know how to process your emotions. But that actually has proven that the amygdala, they did a study on this, they disrupted people's sleep, and there was another group who got full night's sleep. The people whose sleep was disrupted, they actually looked at the amygdala, and the signal from the prefrontal cortex or the front of your brain to the amygdala was just firing off, and it couldn't connect to your prefrontal cortex, which is like the head honcho or the corporation or the HR of your brain. And so the amygdala was going off crazy, sending off all these emotions, but the brain wasn't really able to process it properly. And for people who got a full night's rest, say about 8 hours, right, their brains were, and prefrontal cortex and their amygdala were connecting back and forth, and it wasn't firing off as much. When you're asleep, you enter REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement, and at that process, that's where the vibration of theta, where your subconscious mind comes into play, and it actually helps you be better at problem solving and see problems while you're asleep, which is actually crazy, because sometimes when you have dreams and it seems really like personal, and honestly it's about you and like how you can solve it, that's your subconscious mind. That's where all your problems lie. So when you try and bury your emotions or hide your problems or your anything like that, it's going to be your subconscious mind, and it's going to affect you while you sleep. So your brain helps with that, helps regulate problems, but also helps just relax the body, get it ready for the next day, mentally prepare it. But your mind never truly goes to sleep, so it's crazy that while you're sleeping, it just does all this crazy stuff. You tend to have lower levels of stress. There's a chemical in your body called cortisol, and there's good cortisol and then there's bad cortisol. So actually, something surprising I found out, which brings me to my next tip as well, is get more sunlight, and also maybe try getting like 5 or 10 minutes of exercise in the morning, because it actually is shown that you have the highest level of cortisol in the morning, which actually helps you break down stored fats and sugars. Also, getting some sunlight helps regulate your circadian rhythm, and that circadian rhythm is your internal clock. Your internal clock helps you understand when it's daytime, when it's nighttime, and when to fall asleep. And so getting that sunlight has a lot of benefits along with exercise. So if you found that interesting, well, the next tip is also just as interesting. So tip number 3 is how to get a better sleep and be able to fall asleep. So same with sunlight and the circadian rhythm, you need your room to be dark and cold, actually, because it's proven that if your room is cold, your body internal temperature drops 2%, which actually helps you fall asleep a lot faster. And also, no technology. That should be no surprise, but no phones, no laptops, and definitely try and avoid alcohol and caffeine, because your phones and laptops and stuff emit blue light, which actually tells your mind, hey, this is still bright outside, so I'm not tired. So try and put your phone away at least 1 hour before you go to bed. TV is fine, as long as you have all the lights in your room off. And then as for like say alcohol or caffeine, so alcohol actually affects your REM sleep, and you know, it may help you be able to fall asleep, but it doesn't. And same with caffeine. You know, caffeine stays in your body for 6 hours. So don't try and drink coffee or any kind of caffeine later in the day. Try to drink it earlier in the day, so that way you'll be able to fall asleep. Because if it's 6 hours, and say you take it like 3, well, that's going to be 6 hours later of when it is out of your body, and that's not really good. That'll be like 9 o'clock p.m. So it should come to also no surprise that food and liquids also can play a role in how you sleep. So try to avoid foods for at least 3 hours before you go to bed, and liquids 1 hour before you go to bed, because if you drink a liquid before you go to bed, you're going to want to wake up and take a pee, which is going to disrupt your sleep. And food is not good to have before going to bed, because your body needs time to break down those foods, and so when you're asleep, your body slows down, it's not able to process those foods. And plus, sometimes, at least I've noticed for myself, is that I have to go use the restroom late in the morning, and that's going to keep you up even longer. So why would you do that to yourself? This far in the video, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your time and attention. Thank you for your love and support. And if you found this video useful, make sure to share it with someone who you think could benefit from this video. That helps the YouTube algorithm get to more people, so that way I can be able to help you guys out more. Something also that I forgot to mention earlier in the video is that sleep, if you get little sleep, it actually has higher levels of stress. You have higher levels of stress and an increase in depression and anxiety, which is actually really crazy. Also, a good way to get a good night's sleep is to only use your bed for sleeping, and weirdly as enough as it sounds, sex. Try not to use your room as a multi-use room, or at least your bed in general. Just leave your bed for sleeping and sex. So also, which is really important, talking about bed and sleep, is having a regulated sleep schedule. So you have to go to bed and wake up every morning at the same time, which gets your body into a routine even on the weekends when you want to get a little extra sleep, because it throws off your circadian rhythm and your sleep when you either get more sleep on the weekend or you sleep at a later time. I myself am guilty of this, and I will work on it, but you guys should as well. So stay legendary, stay beautiful, and I'll see you on the next adventure.
Look left, look right. I know come